In 1867, Kansas State University held its first commencement. 3 women and 2 men graduated that year. As the first land-grant university in the nation, this fledgling university had a vision of providing innovative education to all people. That early vision has continued through to the present. With over 250 majors and a diverse student body, including students from all 50 states and more than 100 countries. Becoming one of the nation's top 50 public research universities by 2025 is today's vision for tomorrow. With academic programs among the best in the nation and professors who are leaders in their fields, Kansas State University is an international leader in teaching, learning, service, and research. Today's graduates join over 200,000 alumni who are proud to call K-State their alma mater. Congratulations, and thank you to all those who have supported them through their undergraduate experience at Kansas State University.
Good afternoon. I'm Don Boggs, Associate Dean in the College of Agriculture. Welcome to the College of Agricultural Spring Commencement Ceremony. I wish to thank our bagpiper, Terry Ferguson, K-State alumnus, and our organist, Stephen Kuchera, Master's Candidate in Accounting for the processional music. Stephen, on behalf of the College of Ag, we'd like to say congratulations on your graduation and thank you for serving as our organist for the last 12 ceremonies. Let's give Stephen a round of applause. It is now my pleasure to introduce Adam Johnson, Bachelor's Candidate in Bakery Science and Management and Food Science and Industry from Palmdale, California, to sing our national anthem. Throughout his time at K-State, Adam was active in the Bake Club and Cadence and a cappella group. He completed an internship with Aunt Millie's Bakeries in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and was the undergraduate manager of K-State Housing and Dining's bakery. Adam has accepted a quality assurance and food safety position with Ardent Mills in Commerce City, Colorado. Please stand as Adam sings our national anthem. Adam?
Sorry, can you play that again? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wow. Thank you, Adam. Audience, you may now be seated. Tara Cook is a graduating senior in Food Science and Industry from Atwood, Colorado, and she has been selected to share reflections. During Tara's time at K-State, she has been an active leader in the Agricultural Ambassadors, where she served as president this past year. Tara gained work experience through on-campus jobs as a lab assistant in food science and a project assistant in ag academic programs. She participated in 2 faculty-led study abroad trips visiting Ireland and India, and she's completed internships with Cargill Salt in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Chipotle Mexican Grill in Denver, Colorado. Tara will begin graduate school in food science at Washington State University this fall. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Tara Cook.
Good afternoon, class of 2018. It is with great honor that I stand here today to share reflections from our years at K-State. First of all, I'd like to take a moment to thank the families, friends, and faculty in the audience. Without your support, we wouldn't be seated here today. The College of Agriculture's enrollment is over 2,500 students. Not many people are lucky enough to say that they walked away from college with not only a bachelor's degree, but also a family of that size. Over the last few years, we've made some of the best friends we'll ever have. Some of us even got a significant other out of the deal. If you didn't, that's okay. You're not really supposed to date your family anyways. Looking back over the past years, we have grown as individuals and we're shaped into who we are now by our experiences. We began by learning to make friends with a variety of different people through living in the residence halls and taking general education credits. Our wardrobe quickly changed to about 99% purple as we collected all of those free t-shirts. We got involved on campus through clubs and organizations, or spent our time practicing for judging competitions that went on to be nationally recognized. We invested time in learning, whether it be listening to Dr. Flinchbaugh explain ag policy in a very straightforward manner, or getting involved in our own research projects. We spent hours procrastinating homework and tests, only to spend more hours studying late with our friends in Weber Lounge or Hale Library. We learned how to work with different people on group projects, and then we learned how to convince our professors to let us pick our group partners. Some of us broadened our learning experiences by participating in study abroad trips, growing closer with fellow students and faculty in Ireland, Spain, India, and Italy, just to name a few. We invested time in each other, building our network through many social activities that took place outside of class. We stood by each other in the Bill Snyder Family Stadium, attended concerts at the Hat, hiked the Konza Prairie, traveled to each other's hometowns, and grabbed coffee or Nancy's as the weeks and semesters went on. As we wrapped up our last few weeks at K-State, I believe a lot of us wished for more time, feeling bittersweet as we attempted to pack our last moments with all of our favorite people and places. I wouldn't stand alone in saying there really is no place like Manhattan, Kansas, K-State, and the College of Agriculture. But today is a day of happiness and celebration. Today, we are graduates of Kansas State University. Go forward into what the future holds, striving to create workplaces and families with the same culture as we have been so blessed to experience here. Feel comforted in the fact that the people sitting around you are your network, rooted in the purple and the white. Congratulations, class of 2018. Good luck, God bless, and go Cats.
Thank you, Tara, for sharing your reflections. As we begin the program, I will introduce the platform party. I would ask each of them to stand as they are introduced. Please hold your applause, if you could, until all have been introduced. Beginning on my immediate left is Dr. John Floros, Dean of the College of Agriculture and Director of K-State Research and Extension. Richard Myers, Kansas State University President. Dr. April Mason, Kansas State University Provost and Senior Vice President. Dr. Shannon Washburn, Assistant Dean, College of Agriculture. And Dr. Zia Wiley, Assistant Dean in the College of Agriculture. And Dr. Alan Featherstone, Head of the Department of Agricultural Economics. If you folks would be seated and they can see the ones behind you. In the second row is Dr. Jason Ellis, Head of the Department of Communications and Agricultural Education. Dr. Joe Harner, Head of the Department of Biological and Agricultural Engineering. Dr. Carrie Przynski, Head of the Department of Agronomy. Dr. Chad Miller, Associate Professor in the Department of Horticulture and Natural Resources. Dr. Greg Hadley, Associate Director for Extension and Applied Research. And Dr. Ernie Minton, Associate Dean of Research and Graduate Programs and Associate Director of Research. Continuing on my immediate right, Sandy Klein, Assistant Dean in the College of Agriculture. Jeff Hadachek, Graduating Senior in Agricultural Economics. Tara Cook, Graduating Senior in Food Science and Industry. And Adam Johnson, Graduating Senior in Bakery Science and Management and Food Science and Industry. In the second row is Dr. Evan Tigemeyer, Interim Head of the Department of Animal Science and Industry. Dr. Karen Schmidt, Professor, Food Science and Industry. Dr. Gordon Smith, Head of the Department of Grain Science and Industry. Dr. John Ruberson, Head of the Department of Entomology. Dr. Marty Draper, Head of the Department of Plant Pathology. And Amy Button-Renz, President and CEO of the K-State Alumni Association. Thank you to all of our platform party for being with us today. Once again, we are very pleased that you have joined us today for our commencement ceremonies. We're assembled to honor a group of excellent agriculture graduates for their many, many accomplishments here at K-State. However, we wish to acknowledge some other very important people who made it possible for our graduates to succeed. And that would be the family members present today. We have many spouses, children, parents, siblings, grandparents, and great-grandparents with us today. Will all of the family members of our graduates please stand and be recognized? And graduates, let's give them a nice round of applause of thanks. And graduates, with all the studying, please remember tomorrow is Mother's Day, okay? In addition to our great students, we're really fortunate at K-State to have an outstanding group of faculty in the College of Agriculture that have distinguished themselves enough through excellence in teaching, advising, extension, and research activities. Their names and awards are listed on pages 52 and 53 of the commencement program. We also want to just thank faculty that are with us today to help celebrate the commencement for all their commitment and support of our students. Well, all the faculty that are present today, most are in front, but some of you are in the stands as well. All the faculty present today, please stand and be recognized. Congratulations. At this time, we will recognize and congratulate those students who are graduating with university academic honors and those students who have completed the University Honors or the College of Agricultural Scholars programs. Dr. Shannon Washburn, Assistant Dean for the College of Agriculture, will announce the names and honors of our graduates.
Students, as I read your names, please stand at your location and remain standing until all in your group have been identified. Students graduating with an overall GPA of 3.75 and above on at least 45 K-State credits are designated cum laude. The cum laude graduates are Abigail Ayer, Tara Brandt, Joseph Coonrod, Madison Duzine, Taylor Flowers, Hannah Girardi, Tracy Humphrey, Uilani Kaiakuahiwiwi, Chelsea Kegler, Thomas Mallinson, Wyatt Maurer, Isaac Meyer, Josephine Riley, Melissa Riley, Chloe Sharon, Katie Sorensen, Samuel Steinlage, Natalie Timmons, Nathan Toll. Please join me in congratulating our cum laude graduates. You may be seated. Graduates who have attained an overall GPA of 3.85 or above on at least 45 K-State credits are designated magna cum laude. Our magna cum laude graduates are Shaylee Arpin, Mackenzie Combs, Alexandra Davis, Aubrey Davis, Christine Dowell, Connor Eilert, Mary Fuchsa, Chase Gleason, Lauren Ivy, Kendra Johnson, Robin Leatherwood, Cole Maddox, Callie Moreland, Jesse Murray, Ty Ninke, Carly Overturf, Max Roby, Leah Scholes, Rebecca Schultz, and Emma Winkley. Please join me in congratulating our magna cum laude graduates. You may be seated. Graduates who have attained an overall grade point average of 3.95 or above on at least 45 K-State credits are designated summa cum laude. Our summa cum laude graduates include Rachel Buzinowski, Caden Daly, Brandy Fian, Abigail Friesen, Jeff Hadachek, Christina Hastings, Brett Homey, Alana McLean, Bailey Porter, Jill Seiler, Whitney Sloan, Trevor Smyers, Nicole Sudbeck, Tori Tummons, Cody Van Lays, and Christopher Weber. Please join me in congratulating our summa cum laude graduates. We have 7 graduates who have completed either the University Honors Program or the College of Agriculture Scholars Program. These graduates have completed a project under the supervision of a faculty member and have completed advanced coursework to earn the distinction of Honors Graduate. At this time, we will recognize our Honors and Scholars Program graduates. Please stand as I read your names. Chloe Krieger, Brandy Fian, Jeff Hadachek, Brett Homey, Matthew Kelso, Jill Seiler, and Chloe Sharon. Please join me in congratulating our Honors and Scholars Program graduates. You may be seated.
Thank you, Dr. Washburn. It is now my pleasure to introduce President Richard Myers as our commencement speaker. Myers, a native of Merriam, Kansas, graduated from K-State in 1965 with a bachelor's in mechanical engineering and joined the Air Force through K-State's ROTC program. As a command pilot, Myers logged more than 4,100 flying hours, including 600 combat hours, and received numerous awards and decorations for his service. From 2001 to 2005, he was chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the highest-ranking uniformed officer of the United States Military Forces. He served as the principal military advisor to the President, Secretary of Defense, and the National Security Council. He retired as a 4-star general. In 2000, he presented the university's 118th Landon Lecture, speaking on the military's role in international relations. K-State named the Military Science Building, home of the Army ROTC and the Air Force ROTC programs, the General Richard B. Myers Hall, in honor of his service and dedication. In 2016, Myers was named the 14th president of Kansas State University by the Board of Regents. Please join me in welcoming President Richard Myers.
Thank you, Don. Thank you so much. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and congratulations. Before we go much further, I need to introduce the First Lady, my wife, Mary Jo Myers, who's in purple, sitting in the purple chair so you can't see her, but she's in disguise up there. Thank you for the introduction, Dr. Boggs. Thank you, Dean Flores, for asking me to be here today. As a mechanical engineering graduate, I'm pretty sure what he wanted me to talk about to this group was thermodynamics. You don't get a lot of that in ag. But then I started reviewing the 4 laws of thermodynamics, and we don't have enough time for me to get up to speed and impart any knowledge, so we're going to go back to something else. The something else is thinking back to the 1960s when I graduated Kansas State University, and to think about what the world was like in those days for just a moment. As a recap for you non-history majors, we'd had the assassinations of President Kennedy, his brother Robert Kennedy, and of course Martin Luther King. We had the Civil Rights Movement with its demonstrations and the violence that accompanied it. We were in the midst of the Cold War and the threat of a nuclear holocaust. The war in Vietnam was raging, causing great unrest and divide in our country. All these issues threatened to divide us and caused great uncertainty about our future. But our country met those challenges successfully for the most part, but not without great cost in dollars, lives, and intellectual energy. So that was then. Now is now. And I'm afraid to say that my generation has left you graduates quite a mess. You have a lot of work ahead of you. I think the challenges you face are even greater than those that we faced in the 1960s. If you just think about the environmental issues, global warming, getting our fiscal house in order, poverty, disease, and hunger are rampant in many parts of the world. And in my view, there's more security, uncertainty, and instability in the world than I've seen in my 40-year military career. What should be of particular interest to this audience is how are we going to feed double the Earth's population in the next several decades? That's going to be one of your major challenges, and to do it sustainably. Once again, these issues could divide us and cause great strife, not only here in the United States, but throughout the world. But frankly, I am not worried, as I see in each of you a generation that is smart, adaptable, and impatient to make the world a better place. And you are equipped to do so. You are among the elites in terms of education. Only 30% of the U.S. population has an advanced university degree. In the world, it's only 6.7%. So you're clearly in the elite of those who are equipped to start solving some of these very, very difficult problems. Now is your time to lead, and the world desperately needs your leadership. A couple of thoughts about how you might go about that. First thought is, be yourself, don't let others define you. Studies show people often receive subtle messages and either stretch themselves to live up to someone else's expectations or live down to the lower expectations and perform less than their capability. I went to Air Force ROTC summer camp in 1963 between my junior and senior year. The training officer down there sent a report back here that said, Cadet Myers does not have much future as an Air Force officer. That could have been a real downer, right? Somehow I overcame that. You probably, if you don't follow football, you at least have heard of Tom Brady, chosen in the 6th round in the NFL draft. He was number 199th of football players chosen. And we all know that he went on to a stellar career, still in it, I guess, has won more Super Bowl rings than any other player. So let your actions and your values, the things that you hold dear, determine how you want to be defined. Don't let others define you. I'm going to give you 2 quotes from a movie I like. You may have never seen it, doesn't matter. They're great quotes. This is from The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, came out I think in 2012. And this is by the author of the book that the movie was based on, Deborah Morgash. Her quote here that I like, when it comes to being yourself, everything will be all right in the end. So if it's not all right, it's not the end. You make your ending. The second thing is just work hard. Just take care of everything every day and lend a hand to help others. It's all about performing along each step of the way to the best of your abilities. Kevin Durant, the NBA star, is said to have come up with this quote, which is, hard work beats talent every time talent doesn't work hard. My guess is you already know that. You've been through some pretty arduous academic exercises here at K-State, and hard work obviously does pay off. So much of life is just about staying the course. It's about attitude and tenacity, persistence. Just keep going. In fact, those who do research on the common thread among those who are really successful in life, it's persistence, it's tenacity that usually wins out over almost any other attribute. When you've landed your first job, don't go in and ask your boss immediately when you're going to be promoted. So I was talking to you. I know we laugh at this a little bit, but I was talking to a donor in Chicago last month, and he runs a big financial operation, hires lots of K-Staters. And he was talking about the current generation, and I don't agree with him about the way he portrayed them, but he did say, this one individual came in, sat down, they had it was sort of the onboarding talk, welcome to the firm, blah, blah, blah. The young man said, now, when do I get my first promotion? I mean, he hadn't even filled up the coffee pot yet, and he was looking for the promotion. You've got to stay the course in terms of your attitude and your tenacity, and you've got to be a little bit humble about how you go about your next job. Roger Clemens, the baseball pitcher, I made friends with him on a USO tour to Iraq and Afghanistan. And I went to Yankee Stadium to throw out the pitch around Veterans Day. The day before, Roger Clemens had won his 300th victory in baseball. He was around 40 years old. I met him on Saturday. I said, so Roger, you won your 300th game on Friday night. I bet you slept in, had a great day Saturday morning here in New York City. He said, no, I went to the gym because Saturday is quads day. And then he related, that the pitchers on the Yankees at the time, the young pitchers were so much better than he was, but they didn't work near as hard. So I guess what I'm saying is, you got to work to make your goals. Setting goals is worthy. Dreaming about the road to success, that's worthy as well, but it's all about the doing. You've got to do it. And remember that setback is not a failure. Failure at one thing can put you on the road to something else where you really belong. Just keep going. Walt Disney was fired by the Kansas City Star for, quote, lacking imagination. Walt Disney fired for lacking imagination. He moved on, did pretty well, I think. Back to the movie, The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. The quote from the author again, the only real failure is the failure to try. And the measure of success is how we cope with disappointment. So, get it done. Number 3 would be willing to take risk and to accept change. I wouldn't get too comfortable with that new diploma that you're going to get in your hand here in just a minute. As they say, things are changing. For starters, recent data says that the average person will have 4 jobs by the time they're 32. And jobs more and more require an education beyond high school and often beyond a bachelor's degree. 70% of new jobs, according to recent data, require advanced education. Tom Friedman, in his book, Thank You for Being Late, compares the age of acceleration we're in right now to the disruption caused by the launch of the printing press in the 1400s. Think back a few years when some of you graduates were still in grade school. And now I'm going to use a line that my wife put together for another speech earlier this week. So, pardon me, ma'am. When you were in grade school, Facebook was unknown. The word Twitter and Kindle had very different meanings. 5G was a number of an apartment. Uber was a German word. And big data sounded like a rap singer. The world's changing. And humanity only moves forward when smart people take on risk. I was on the board of directors of a company, I'm now left it a couple of years ago, and we took a risk on quantum computing. For those that know anything about quantum computing, people have been pouring money into that quest for a long time. But the board decided that we would take the risk along with the company and pour millions and millions of dollars into quantum computing. Huge risk for the company, didn't help the bottom line at all, and there's a glimmer right now that it might pay off. You've got to take risk in life. If it fails, other paths will open. I guess the point is, continue to learn. You now have your passport, your diploma, and embrace change and take on risk as they present themselves. Number 4, nourish your relationships. From birth to death, human beings are hardwired to connect to other human beings. Despite what my children and grandchildren think, face-to-face contact really matters. I mean, they'll tweet with me anytime. They'll text with me anytime. That's not satisfying to me. Shouldn't be satisfying to them. More work there. Studies show that the top 2 things that contribute to longevity and happiness are social interaction and close personal relationships. That's above exercise, healthy food, not smoking, and the normal things we think of about staying healthy. Now, don't go back and do all those things either, but the top 2 things are social interaction and close personal relationships. Social interaction can be as simple as casual connections, talking with a cashier, talking with your barista, or, in my case, talking to the custodian in the men's room in the Leadership Studies building. I walked into the men's room, there was a man cleaning the urinals. And, I don't know, somehow we struck up a conversation. And in that simple conversation lasted maybe a minute and a half, I found out that he and his wife had made a huge difference in tens and tens of foster children that they took in. Now, you might not know that about that man if you didn't just have that chance, and there was a chance to connect, because that inspired me, took me a little bit off maybe my higher horse as the president of K-State, and humbled me that maybe I wasn't doing all in life that I could be doing. And you never know unless you ask. I would say that was a pretty good social interaction. And he was willing to be quiet, or he was willing to interact, depending on how you approached him. Number 5, I think, live selflessly and to serve. This one word, selflessly, has more to do with your fulfillment and success, I believe, than any other. Why do you do the things that you do? Is it all for you, or is there a sense of serving others, something bigger than yourself? I would offer here, consider your faculty. My guess is they have lots of opportunities out there in the world. Some would probably pay them more money than being here at K-State, certainly more money than being here at K-State. But what have they decided to do? They decided to be here with you and to help you develop your knowledge through their instruction. They are certainly, I think, serving something bigger than themselves. Martin Luther King said, quote, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others?" You got to think about that all through your life, or you'll get very me-centric. Einstein said, "Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile." I met this investment banker after I just retired from the military in New York City, where I was giving a presentation. And he started poking me in the chest before we started all the presentation piece. And he said, "It must have really bothered you to be chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and work for so little money." And I said, "No, it was pretty satisfying. We really never thought about the money." And he kept going. He said, "No, I know you and your peers sat down. You talked about money all the time." I said, "No, we did not. That's not why we worked." That night on the way home, I'm sure he didn't believe me that we didn't think about money, because to him, his sense of self-worth was tied up in his bonus check at the end of the year. And with a Wall Street investment banking firm, that was probably $1 million or $2 million or whatever it was. Not very fulfilling where I came from, obviously very fulfilling from him. And the last thing is, have passion for what you invest your time doing. You've probably learned by now that you really do well at things where you have a passion. You should be like Don Quixote in your quest for passion. I found mine out here at the Manhattan Airport, courtesy of Air Force ROTC, when they gave me my first flight lesson. You'll find yours if you look. One caution, however, passion without critical thought is more dangerous than apathy. You've learned critical thinking skills here at K-State. Use them. So there you have it. How simple is it, really? Just define yourself through your values and your action. Work hard. It's really the key to being successful and to achievement. Take on risk. Embrace change. Nourish relationships. That is really the heart of what being a human's all about. Live selflessly, serve others, and find your passion. So congratulations to the graduates, to the faculty, to the families. This is your day. I'm glad to be a small part of it. Go Cats.
Thank you, President Myers. Jeff Hadachek, a graduating senior in agricultural economics from Cuba, Kansas, has been selected to deliver the graduate address. Jeff has also completed minors in statistics and international agriculture. During his time at K-State, Jeff has been an influential leader across the university. Jeff held officer positions in the College of Agricultural Student Council, the Kansas FFA, the Student Alumni Board, the College of Agricultural Ambassadors, and Farmhouse Fraternity. Additionally, Jeff was a Center for Risk Management, Education, and Research Scholar. Jeff completed internships with Mid-Kansas Co-op, Michael Torrey Associates, Koch Fertilizer, and the Kansas Department of Agriculture. He participated in a study abroad trips to South Africa and India, and he completed the College of Agricultural Scholars program. Jeff was recently recognized by Ag Council as the 2017-18 College of Ag Student of the Year. Jeff is beginning a PhD program in agricultural economics this fall at the University of California, Davis. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Jeff Hadachek to the podium for the graduate address. Jeff?
Good afternoon, graduates, alumni, and guests. If you are present today, you are likely joining the 6.7% of the world who holds a bachelor's degree or have supported individuals attaining that accomplishment in some way. So guests and alumni, first allow me to thank you for the role that you have played in each of our lives. And graduates, congratulations, and thank you for pursuing a degree in agriculture. When considering that most of us have spent the last 17 years devoted to formal education, graduating from college today symbolizes the completion of the single greatest time and probably financial investment of most of our lives. When I reflect on this, I ask the question, why do we spend almost a quarter of our lives attending school? Nels Borlaug, grandfather of Nobel Peace Prize winner Norman Borlaug, I believe has an appropriate answer for that. Education puts power into a man. Governments come and go, but if you've got a good education, no one can take that from you. This education, which I might add you have earned from the flagship university in Kansas, is completely yours. But do not stop expanding that asset when you walk across this stage. If you ask an 18 to 29-year-old how many books they have read in the past year, I found a pretty common answer. I just can't find the time. And honestly, until about 2 years ago, the only books that I ever actually chose to read were Hank the Cowdog and Captain Underpants. I was surprised to find that the average 18 to 29-year-old reads about 9 books a year, a number that seems pretty respectable at the service level. But if you factor in average book length and average reading speed, reading 9 books a year only requires 10 minutes a day. When you consider that most of us have spent 10 minutes a day walking from one class to another for the past 4 years, 10 minutes is a very small sacrifice for the articulated perspective of authors. After all, much of our knowledge and wisdom is not our own revelation, but it is the culmination of information from others' influence, our own experiences, or maybe what we have read. All books can be classified into 2 categories: fiction or nonfiction. In the books Freakonomics and When Breath Becomes Air, 2 of my favorite nonfiction books, we learn about events that we will never be a part of, a topic that we may not fully understand, and we learn about a person who we will never get to meet. But there are also people all around us who we often never take the chance to meet, who each have their own story just waiting to be told. I am so privileged to know the people of this university and of the College of Agriculture at Kansas State. And each person walking across this stage today has their own unique journey to this point. Graduates, when you enter the workforce, I encourage you to find a mentor in your community and absorb all the information you can from them. People hold the answer to every question that we may have, whether it is, where's the best place to eat lunch? How do I earn that promotion? Or how do I become the best mother or father that I can be? Learn from the past and the people that have done it before. Next, fiction books can propel us into a world that is not our own. Imagine the unthinkable, and I would argue, put us into situations that we would never be comfortable in real life. Consider J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit. We all begin some new adventure after we walk across this stage that I predict will likely be uncomfortable. We enter these situations with many questions, naivety about what the future holds, and most of all, potential. 3 times in my life, I have walked into a new school system. With each school came a new and heightened level of anxiety and uncomfortableness. But also with each new school came the best years of my life to that point. New experiences, adventure, and uncomfortableness, these privileges we should not stop taking advantage of. In January, I traveled to India with Dr. Barkley and 27 amazing students of this college, which resulted in some of the most uncomfortable situations of my life, but also such a rich experience in learning. Graduates, dare to be uncomfortable. I firmly believe that the state of being uncomfortable and the state of learning are the same pursuit. If you ask 100 Americans to name one, just one of the rights outlined in the First Amendment, only 37 of them will be able to give you a correct answer. Humans, even the college graduate, are susceptible to apathy. So many answers are at our fingertips, whether they are held in the pages of a book, the wisdom of another person, or in the journey of taking on a new and challenging experience. I leave you with encouragement from Henry Ford. Anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or at 80. Graduates, do not let today be the end of your education, but merely a milestone in the life of furthering your education. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Before we proceed to the degree ceremony, we are pleased to have Amy Button-Rins, President and CEO of K-State Alumni Association, to bring special greetings on behalf of the K-State Alumni Association. Amy?
I'm pleased to be part of your special day and offer congratulations on behalf of the K-State Alumni Association, representing over 275,000 graduates and friends who will be your lifelong K-State family. Today, as you receive your degree, we are excited to celebrate with you and your family. We are also here to welcome you into a new relationship with your alma mater as you begin this new chapter as a K-State graduate. Our mission at the Alumni Association is to lead and inspire lifelong involvement that will benefit Kansas State University and all members of our Wildcat community. I would like to share 3 of the core values that guide us in our mission to help keep you connected with K-State. The first value is link. The Alumni Association provides the lifelong link that alumni depend on to remain connected. You can stay in touch through hundreds of alumni activities held on campus, around the country, and even internationally. Another value is tradition. You will likely celebrate a few traditions this weekend as you sing the alma mater or take KSU photos at your favorite spot on campus. You may have also fond memories of doing the Wabash at a K-State sporting event or rubbing the nose of the bronze Wildcat statue at the Alumni Center for good luck on a test or to ensure a Wildcat victory. As the keepers of tradition, we also hope you will have a chance to visit the Alumni Center to experience all the wonderful traditions kept there, including our newest addition, a stained glass mural designed by 2016 graduate Marcus Gilbert, which pays tribute to the beauty of our state and the K-State campus. The third core value is purple. For K-Staters, it's more than a color. It's a symbol of pride, connection, and family. When you see someone wearing purple, or wearing a K-State class ring, or sporting a K-State license plate, you will feel that sense of family. In recognition of your graduation, the College of Agriculture and the Alumni Association are providing you with a complimentary 1-year membership to the Alumni Association. We hope you will enjoy the membership benefits and continue to be an active member after your first year. K-State alumni are among the most loyal in the nation. In fact, our membership ranks in the top 5 in the nation, and we're number 1 in the Big 12 for the percentage of graduates who are members. That loyalty is shared by generations of K-Staters who have the same passion for K-State that you feel today as you receive your degree from one of the finest universities in the nation. The Alumni Association is also pleased to present you today with an exclusive alumni business card holder. As you go through life and your titles and addresses change, please be sure to keep us updated. We want to make sure you are always connected to your K-State family. Congratulations and go Cats.
Thank you, Amy. Okay, graduates, we have a few announcements before the degree ceremony. The College of Agriculture is pleased to provide a complimentary 5x7 professional photograph of your graduation. One photo will be taken on the stage, and a second photo will be taken by the backdrop at the rear of the seating area. Please pause and turn to the camera before you be ready for your photo. Family members, if you want to take pictures, you may do so from behind the roped areas around the edge of the floor seating. Please refer to your commencement program on pages 53 to 56 for the order in which the graduates will be recognized. Graduates majoring in agribusiness through wildlife and outdoor enterprise management are seated on the west side and will cross the stage from west to east. Remaining graduates on the east side and will cross from east to west. Please prepare for your photo before your graduate approaches the stage, then return to your seat, please, so others can access the area. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. John Floros, Dean of the College of Agriculture and Director of K-State Research and Extension, to proceed with the conferral of degrees. Dr. Floros.
Would all the graduates now please rise for the conferral of degrees? By the authority of the people of Kansas and the Kansas Board of Regents, and upon recommendation by the faculty, and contingent upon completion of all degree requirements, I am pleased to confer upon you the respective degrees you have earned at Kansas State University. Graduates, please move your tussles to the left side of your mortarboard. You may be seated. Thank you. Again, congratulations for earning your degrees, and my best wishes for the future. At this time, college administration will prepare for the diploma cover presentation. The department heads will present diploma covers to each graduate as they cross the stage. President Myers, Provost Mason, and I have the pleasure of congratulating each graduate as they cross the stage.
Thank you, Dean Floros. As we begin our diploma presentation, we'd like to take a moment to honor a member of the K-State Ag family who is not with us to celebrate today, as we award a posthumous degree to Matthew Eugene Nelms. Matthew's diploma will be received by his father, Gene Nelms, and Matthew's aunt and uncle. I will now introduce the graduates for individual recognition on the stage and presentation of diploma covers. We will proceed in order by major as listed in your program on pages 53 through 56. I would like to thank our faculty marshals, Drs. Keith Harris, Christine Wilson, Mickey Ransom, Dave Nichols, Laurie Baker, and Carol Fike, who will assist in directing you to and from the stage. It is now my privilege to introduce Dr. Alan Featherstone, head of the Department of Agricultural Economics, who will present diploma covers to the graduates receiving the Bachelor of Science in Agribusiness and the Bachelor of Science in Agriculture with a major in Agricultural Economics. Mitchell Kennedy Allen. Alex Landon Allstat. Benjamin Franklin Ballinger. Jonathan William Barth. Abigail Catherine Buter. Bryce Joseph Black. Ryan Thomas Blake. Lauren Ashley Badinsky. Owen Stanley Clemens. Connor Michael Eilert. Mary Hannah Fuchsa. Dalton John Gantz. Carson Dean Garrett. Gage Logan Grauerholtz. Drew Daniel Hagman. Jared Mitchell Howry. Rachel Tyler Henchek. George Robert Hermish. Justin Thomas Heskett. Samantha Martiel Hubbard. Tyson Dean Heenick. Kelly Nicole Jacobson. Jaylee Elizabeth Jensen. Kendra Lee Johnson. Kara Elizabeth Jolly. Chelsea Ann Kegler. Kaylee Nicole Leal Cryer. Clinton Joseph Kropa. Austin Joe LeMay. Brock Anthony Lucas. Eric Thomas Maxwell, Ryan Scott McCoy, Alan Joseph Mick, Jaden Thomas Miller, Simon C. Miller, Cody Lee Mills, Mark Joseph Mitchell, Ryan Craig Nelson, Trey Miles Nelson, Carly Jo Overturf, Reed Anna Pape, Ryan Matthew Pasco, Remick Elizabeth Paulson, Carl Robert Heitz, Michaela Marie Peterson, Grant Allen Pritchard, Martin Ethan Quaney, Max Stevens Roby, Callie Lauren Rumbold, Alexander James Schmitz, Luke Fordham Schneider, Mateo Zavala Tomboli, Alex James White, Reese Michael Wilkeson, Luke Hayden Willis. Next, we will present our degree candidates for the degree in agriculture with a major in agricultural economics. Austin John Ballman, Nicholas William Bledsoe, Caleb Allen Curran, Aubrey Nicole Davis, Tanner James Durham, Carlos Flores, Abigail Louise Friesen, Jeffrey David Hadachek, Chase Allen Gleason, Garrett Thomas Higgins, Grady Dean Kay, Lucas Allen Linder, David Leo Lubke, Thomas Logan Mallinson, Titus Paul Minkovich, Kendall Merle Peterson, Alexandria Marie Rich, Haley Logan Scholl, Trevor Michael Smyers, David Randall Taylor III, Thomas Robert Thayer, Ian Thomas Vincent, I'm pleased to introduce Dr. Jason Ellis, head of the Department of Communications and Agricultural Education, who will present diploma covers to the graduates receiving the Bachelor of Science in Agriculture with majors in Agricultural Communications and Journalism and Agricultural Education. Samantha Marie Albers, Shaylee Beth Arpin, Shannon Berry, Kelsey Aline Bodwine, Chelsea Marie Callahan, Elizabeth Elise Cooper, Ashley Jeree Fitzsimmons, Jacqueline Marie Newland, Lauren Elizabeth Peterson, Carly Madeline Pryor, Hannah Elizabeth Schlapp, Jill Marie Seiler, Chantel Janae Simon, next are graduates completing degrees in agricultural education. Michael Jose Adama, Matthew Gil Anguano, Ellen Michaela Blackwell, Paxton Ann Bohr, Mallory Lynn Burton, Cassie Ray Campbell, Zachariah M. Cooper, Dane Logan Cummings, Chelsea Dawn Figge, Wyatt Andrew Maurer, Michaela Abigail McKenzie, Ty Colton Ninke. Josephine Michaela Riley. Elizabeth Michelle Rogers. Bailey Cheyenne Siemens. Alexandra Marie Walters. Caitlin Nicole Weedle. James Eugene Robert Weller. Now I would like to introduce Dr. Joe Harner, head of the Department of Biological and Agricultural Engineering, who will present to graduates receiving the Bachelor of Science in Agriculture with a major in Agricultural Technology Management. Braden Jeremiah Cott. Clinton Dilly. Clinton's diploma is being presented by his mother, Dr. Anita Dilly, professor in agronomy. Jacob Crawford Doherty. Caleb Chad Egbert. Brett Charles Getzman. Cole W. Maddox. Shane Devon Miller. Casey Lee Minahan. Gage Clark Parker. Ryan Jarrett Pendleton. Wade Levi Stroda. Joseph Logan Wiener. Jacob Taylor Yaz. Next, Dr. Gary Przinski, head of the Department of Agronomy, will present to the graduates receiving the Bachelor of Science in Agriculture with a major in agronomy. Caden Paul Berry. Michael Stephen Bain. Carlos Bustamante. Ronald Jean Casares, Jr. Elizabeth Espino. Logan Andrew Evers. Hannah Rose Girardi. Garrett Michael Glanzer. Tyler Allen Hildebrandt. Tyler Lee Marr. Kyle Thomas Miller. Hannah Audrey Muxlow. Rainey Ostrander. Jacob Scott Renneker. Cole Ryan Renner. Nicole Melita Sudbeck. Stephen Decker Sutton. Hannah Christine Wallace. Christopher Matthew Weber. Logan Michael Wyke. Tara Leanne Wilson. Tessa Eve Z. Sarah Elizabeth Zerger. Next, Dr. Chad Miller, Associate Professor of the Department of Horticulture and Natural Resources, will present to graduates receiving the Bachelor of Science degree in Agriculture with majors in Horticulture, Park Management and Conservation, and Wildlife and Outdoor Enterprise Management. Connor William Bolte. Hannah Danielle Callahan. Jonathan Walker Critchlow. Madison Scout Cully. Mary Kathleen Hedenberg. Jess Taylor Hole. Slade Alexander Lowen. Mackenzie Michelle Mann. Rachel Jean Peterson. Michael C. Reese. Alicio Schiatorella. Alicio's diploma is being presented by his mother, Dr. Catarina Scolio, professor in electrical and computer engineering. Brett Mitchell Williams. Amanda Woolley. Next, we will present degrees to students graduating with a major in park management and conservation. Travis Edward Blenn. Christine Nicole Dowell. Grant Alexander Duncan. Branson Gasper. Christian Elizabeth Gunther. Kayla Marie Jackson. Jennifer Elizabeth Nielsen. Landon Craig Oxner. Reed Allen Saylor. Nathan Alexander Hike Toll. Benjamin Thomas Williams. Jordan Wayne Wyrick. Our next group of graduates are completing the degree in Wildlife and Outdoor and Enterprise Management. Hunter James Bass. Madison K. DeMole. Chase Patrick Hall. Tracy Lane Humphrey. Cody Michael Jesse. Carson W. Keys. Tyler David Nicolny. Benjamin Petrie. Keith Short. Philip Simino. Mary Marchant Stapp. Reed Troyer. Nate Watson. We will now pause to change sides and introduce the remaining graduates, starting with graduates in animal science and industry.
It is now my privilege to introduce Dr. Evan Tegelmeyer, Interim Head of the Department of Animal Sciences and Industry, who will present to graduates receiving the Bachelor of Science in Agriculture with a major in Animal Sciences and Industry. Denisha Lachey Abercrombie. Alyssa Marie Agee. Phoebe Jane Anders. Bailey J. Anderson. Jamie Lee Arell. Abigail June Eyre. Jordan Elizabeth Backscheider. Michael Leslie Baumgardner. Amanda Sarah Bennett. Eric Logan Blythe. Jacob Dennis Bornslagel. Tara Lynn Brandt. Shayna Jean Brown. Ariana Elizabeth Browning. Rachel Lauren Buzanowski. Alexis Rose Campbell. Kyle Dakota Chu. Olivia Grace Cotronillo. Chloe May Krager. Clara Francine Cross. Caden David Daly. Alexandra Elizabeth Davis. Reed Morgan Davis. Shania K. Davis. Tristan Tyler Davis. Ariana Ashley De La Garza. Rhett Calvin DeLay. Ashley Nicole Durfler. Madison Sage Duzine. Ethan Nicholas England. Lindsay Nicole Innan. Brianna Euler Manrose. Stuart Reed Fairbank. Cora Ann Farley. Miranda Jane Faulkner. Brandy Joanne Feehan. Dakota Lane Ferguson. Mallory Janicia Ferguson. Christopher Folan. Robert Gallegos Jr. Manirathnam Ganesan. Trenton Odell Gearing. Taylor Suzanne Gorley. Candace Lene Griffin. Callahan M. Grund. Kiera Guerrero. Christopher Stephen Hall. Jerica Renee Hall. Nicole Marie Hammond. Joshua Logan Harlan. Paige M. Hess. Samantha Lee Holloman. Brett Homey. Lauren Taylor Ivy. Margaret Ann James. Nicole Louise Johansson. Uilani Margaret Kayaku Wahibi. Jacqueline Nicole Ketchum. Jacob Michael Kingsford. Kristen Marie Nakasted. Brittany Nicole Kazenko. Jessica Ann Lake. Amy Michelle Maiden. Matthew Jean Marion. Micah Elizabeth Marshall. John Austin Matheny. Richard Michael McKee. Lakin Michelle McKenzie. Anne Ruth McVicker. Tiffany Alejandra Medina. Catherine Ann Meath. Karen Renee Meinholt. Adriana Ray Meneses. Isaac David Meyer. Callie Joan Moreland. Justin James Mosman. Alexander Ray Murrow. Alasi Nakashima. Gage Elton Nichols. Karin Patricia O'Leary. Taylor Jonathan Oldie. Salina Jacqueline Ortega. Kyle Glenn Packabeer. Brittany Paige Peterson. Nicole Marie Frang. Kirsten Lene Pierce. Bailey Marie Porter. Paxton Lee Pospischel. Kendra Leanne Pryor. Devin William Rempe. Tara Michelle Reno. Callie Lynn Retzler. Amanda Ann Rezak. Melissa Nicole Riley. Jack Ryan Riddinghouse. Megan Hannah Sharping. Ashley Nicole Smits. Heidi Marie Schmitz. Leah Francis Schultz. Joshua Dwight Sherrod. Rebecca Mary Schultz. Laura Christine Sellers. Reed David Shipman. Allison K. Siemens. Whitney Aaron Sloan. Brandywine G. Smith. Maggie Jean Smith. Hannah Ray Smiley. Katie Ray Sorensen. Emma Jo Stalker. Samuel Dale Steinlage. Jessica Jo Stevenson. Brittany Lynn Stoutenborough. Ty Owen Swiler. Shelby Jade Taylor. Tyler Austin Thomas. Caitlin Annabelle Thompson. Natalie Michelle Timmons. Alicia Marie Trigo. Tori Jo Tummins. Jesse Arturo Vallejo. Cody Diane Van Lays. Kaylee Nicole Visser. Brenna Ann Vogel. Emily Lynn Voris. Rachel Elaine Waggy. Zane Noland Ward. Michaela Marie Williams. Tanya Lynn Wright. Kayla Nicole Young. Diana Fatima Zamora. Anna Rose Hickert. Matthew Robert Kelso. Sydney Nicole Rathjen. Next, Dr. Karen Schmidt, Professor and Chair of the Food Science and Industry undergraduate programs, will now present to the graduates receiving the Bachelor of Science in Food Science and Industry. Monica Marie Brummett. Colby Aaron Castor. Tara Lynn Cook. Kayla Paige Daniel. Christina Marie Hastings. Gemma Hoskins. Robin L. Leatherwood. Guoham Liu. John Anthony Manglonaya. Amy Leanne O'Grady. Chelsea Marie Reeder. David Myron Riley. Kaylee Ann Sarver. Courtney Ray Saylor. Noelle Beth Vandercody. Amanda Kaylee Weingard. Next, Dr. Gordon Smith, head of the Department of Grain Science and Industry, will present to graduates receiving the Bachelor of Science degrees in Bakery Science and Management, Feed Science and Management, and Milling Science and Management. We will begin with our students in Bakery Science and Management. Kathleen Marie Engel. Kristen Eva Marie Jensen. Adam Kamal Johnson. Caroline Estelle Peters. Dakota Rose Peterson. Evan John Rennell. Chloe Camille Sharon. We will now recognize those graduates in Feed Science and Management. Natalie M. Booth. Michaela Brianne Braun. Coulter George Berzon. Morgan Compton. Natalie Rebecca Dick. Stephanie Marie Gerling. Argel Benedict Solis Moncayo. Darby Rose Mary Patterson. Courtney Nicole Stover. We will now recognize those graduates in milling science and management. Tate Michael Anderson. Joseph Scott Coonrod. Jessica Renee Davis. Halsey Cheyenne Hadley. Matthew Ryan Harvey. Connor Adam Henley. Trevor George Kelly. Micah James Coe. Kelly Nicole McManaman. Jack Dwayne Niebrigi. Andrew Michael Novissel. Alan Scott Piney. Justin Matthew Sprick. Jeffrey Braden Walter. Jonah Stone Weber. Carl James Whitmer. Jason Brian Yinkst.
Please join me in congratulating all of our graduates one more time. Graduates, commencement is not about the end, but rather the beginning. The beginning of new careers, for some new families, and for all of you, a new stage in your lives. You can be proud to be a graduate of Kansas State, the first land-grant university in the nation. But we do have a few expectations of you as a K-State College of Ag alum. First, we expect you to capitalize on your education and the training you have received to make valuable contributions in your careers and to your professions, as well as to continue your professional development as a lifelong learner. Secondly, we expect you to build upon the outstanding record of citizenship, philanthropy, and service that you have established at K-State by becoming outstanding members of the communities to which you relocate, to start your careers or to continue your schooling. Get involved and be engaged in community activities. They need your talents and your leadership skills. And finally, what truly makes K-State and the College of Ag great is the involvement and expectations of our alumni. Thus, we expect you to keep bleeding purple, stay involved with K-State, and to continue to challenge us to be the best we can be. I'm confident that I speak for all the faculty, staff, and administrators when I say that it has truly been our privilege to contribute to your education and be a part of your lives these last few years. We're very proud of you. We wish you the very best. But everyone, again, congratulate our graduates. Thanks to everyone here today for participating in this special occasion for our graduates. We ask that you please remain seated for the formal recessional. The graduates will follow the stage party to the rear of the floor seating and up the far north stairs to the concourse area. We ask that families then exit immediately behind your section and meet the graduates on the upstairs concourse. This will help us clear the floor for the next ceremony that follows. Thank you once again to our musicians for sharing their musical talents, and to Tara Cook, President Richard Myers, and Jeff Hadachek for speaking at our commencement today. Again, congratulations and best wishes to the graduates. For our adjournment, would everyone please rise and join as Adam Johnson leads us in singing the K-State Alma Mater.